Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining today's CV clinic. Some ground rules that we are to observe before we begin today's clinic. We are all entreated to mute our microphones, and then you'd only mute your microphone when you have a question, and then you are permitted to go ahead and then you'll mute your microphone and then you speak. If you are in a surrounding that is a bit noisy, kindly move away if you intend to do speak. I'm not giving the go ahead to do. If you intend to speak, you raise up your hand, you are called upon, and then you go ahead and speak. So let's all abide by this house rules, and then let's have a wonderful evening.
All right. Thank you very much, Jerry, for this. And good evening to everyone. This is our monthly CV clinic organized by the Careers and Counselling Directorate. Today we have also the Student Association from Philosophy and Classics. Do we have any philosophy and classics students around? Just use the emoji sign to the reaction sign to just clap so that we know that we have philosophy and classics students around. Can I be heard, please?
Yes, please can be heard.
Yeah, here. Yeah, here. Yeah, here.
Oh.
Oh, please, your mic is muted.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear? Okay, so I can be heard now. Yes, so just a little ground rule as just Jerry mentioned earlier on. Let's all mute ourselves and then there'll be time for questions. This is just going to be a 1 hour interaction. So we'll try as much as possible to finish at exactly 6 o'clock and if possible earlier. Please mute your mics and all that, and there will be time for questions. There will be time for questions and all that. But then I think I can give some 1 minute to the president of philosophy and classics if he's here, either the president, the vice president, or the secretary. If any of you are around, I can give you 1 minute before we start. Kofi, are you the president or the vice president? Because your hand is up. Or any rep from the philosophy and classics?
Yeah, here.
Will you want to say something to your people before we start, or we should just go ahead? Doreen, is Doreen here? Doreen, philosophy and classics? Okay, since I'm not getting any response, I'll just go ahead. So my name is Edwina Pinto. I am a counselor and a placement coordinator at the Careers and Counselling Directorate. And then I'm going to take you through how to write a CV or how to write a very good CV, because we know that when you finish school, most of you here want to get a job. Most of you are looking for jobs after school. So this is a way to help you build your CV, and you can't finish in a school like University of Ghana and have a bad CV, or you can't finish a school like University of Ghana and not get a job afterwards. And the one way to get a job is to have a good CV. So that's what this session is going to be about. We We will share with you later on the sample CV so that you can look at it and work on your CVs. The Careers and Counseling Directorate is always open. We open every day, every working day from Monday to Friday, and you can bring your CV there for us to review it after this session. So from Monday to Friday, when you come, you can just ask for me, you can ask for Edwina. If I'm around, I'll help review your CV and make the corrections for you. So let's go straight to writing the CV. Jerry, can you see my CV, my screen, please?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so when you're writing a CV, there are some few things you need to have in mind when you're writing a CV. First of all, you should know that you don't take one CV to a lot of companies. I see people do this a lot. They write one CV and decide to just distribute it to different companies, and they wonder why they are not getting the opportunity, or they wonder why no company is calling them for this. Jerry, can you record this session so that we
Yes,
can
I'm
put it
recording.
on our YouTube page? Okay, thank you. So when you are writing a CV, you need to first of all know the company you are applying for, research about the company, and you tailor your CV to fit exactly what they are looking for. You don't do one generic CV and decide that you are going to distribute it to every company. There's a high chance that none of these companies will call you because this CV doesn't fit exactly what the company is looking for. So you always write a CV based on the company and the position in which you are writing for. Also, another thing we need to take in mind when we are writing a CV is that you need to research about the company. Research exactly about the company you are applying for before you take your CV to that company. Also, when you're also writing a CV, you always have to add a cover letter. Because of time, we won't go through how to write a cover letter. However, we will share with you the procedure in writing a cover letter. So you always have to add a cover letter to the CV when you are submitting it to the company. The cover letter is very simple. It's just a letter. You know, when we were in primary school, they taught us how to write formal letters. It's just a formal letter to the company telling them about your intention to work with them. You speak a little bit about your skills, your experiences, and all that on the cover letter. Just a simple one page is enough to cover for the cover letter. So let's go straight to the CV. So for your CV, if you look at this name very well, you realize this person is called Anita Mamientry. You see that her name is boldly written and is standing out. That's how your CV should be. Your name should always stand out on your CV. So with this one, Anita Mamientry, you realize that her name is standing out. So if she's using Times New Roman 12 for the whole CV, the name alone, she should use a bigger font size so that it stands out on the CV. It should stand out on the CV because her name should always stand out. Also, if I should make this name Entry Anita Mame, if I'm to ask anybody here what is the person's surname, most of you here are Ghanaians, so you will say Entry is the person's surname because you know Entry is a surname. But I'm sure people who are not Ghanaians over here will think Mame is the surname because they don't know that Entry is the surname. So if you want to write your name this way, if you want to put your surname first, always put a comma after your surname so that if anybody should see this, the person will know that Entry is your surname. So after you put Entry, you put a comma before you put Anita Mamwe so that anybody that sees this knows that Entry is your surname. But if you want to go the safer side, then you can just go with the Anita Mame Entry. without a comma. This is the safer side if you want to go this way. So that's the first thing we need to take note. We should learn how to write our names on our CVs. The next thing is your box address. You put your PO box address over there. Then you put your telephone number also on your CV. Make sure you put your telephone number. Don't put your mother's telephone number there because you say that your mother, she always picks up calls. So you are putting her number there because you know that she will pick up her call. No. If a company calls you and it's your mother that's picking up first, there's a likelihood that they won't call you again. So always make sure that it is your number you are putting over there. And I know quite a number of companies that the first process in recruiting is 2 phone calls. So how you talk on the phone is very important. How you pick up your call is very important. So if your call, you put your mother's name there, it's your mother who is picking up the call first for you, it can go against you. And also, we should also learn how to pick up calls. You know, some people pick up calls and the first thing they say is, who is this? Telephone manners. Some people will pick up the call and they'll just say, who is this? Some of us do that. And those of us who don't do that, we know somebody who also does that. Let's teach them that, or let's learn that we don't do that when you pick up a call. Because if it's a company, a potential company that's calling you, and your first thing is, who is this? That is how you lose the opportunity to work with them. They will just tell you, oh, sorry, I think it's a wrong number. Or they might still interact with you, but then they've disqualified you already. So let's learn how to pick up calls. And then now, those of you who are students, most of you are students, learn to save some money, because when you're in school, your parents will give you money. When you finish school, nobody will give you money. Save some money so that you can be buying credits for yourself. So that when you miss a call, you can actually return the call. Some of you miss calls and you don't return it back. You don't call the person back. What if it's a potential company that's calling you? That is how you've lost an opportunity. Also with telephone calls, I see people, especially the ladies, you pick up the call and you are quiet. You are waiting for the next person on the call to say something before you also say something. So you are doing the silent treatment. If it's a company, that is how you've lost opportunity. So let's take note of these things. Then we move to the email address, which is also very important, your email address. Let's know how to write an email address. Let's be careful about the type of email addresses we create for ourselves. Some of you create all sorts of email addresses and all that and wonder why no company is calling you. Sexy123 is not an email address you should create for yourself. Someone like me, if I see an email address like that, automatically I'll put it in junk because I'll think that somebody wants to scam me or something. I won't even open it. So let's learn how to create proper email address. Your nicknames, don't use, those of you who have used your nicknames as your email address. There's nothing, it's not too late. You can change it. You can create a new email address, professional email address. You can use your name. Those who say, oh, my name has already been used. That's why nowadays people add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all that to their names. You can use your name to create a proper professional email address for yourselves. Also with the email addresses, some of you, a lot of you young people, I don't know why, but you don't like checking your emails. You are looking for a job, but you are not checking your email address too. At least check your email address twice a day, especially when you are looking for a job. Because what if the company sends you an email to come for an interview, but because you were not checking your email address, you have lost that opportunity. So let's try as much as possible to be checking our email addresses at least twice a day. You can do it in the morning and in the evening. Also, we should also check our junk emails or the spam. Sometimes some things might happen and then your certain important things end up in your junk mail or your spam emails. I've heard people say that companies have sent them request to come for an interview and they never saw it, and then later on when they went to check, it was in their junk mail and they've lost that opportunity. It's not an excuse to the company and say, oh, the mail went. The companies might not care about that. So let's be careful about this. Let's check our junk mails at least once a day. People have lost opportunity of doing an aptitude test because it ended up in their junk mail and they never saw it, and they just lost that opportunity. So let's be careful about that. You notice that on the first section of the email, of the cover, on the CV, sorry, I didn't add date of birth. I didn't add marital status. I didn't add your height. I didn't add your GPS address, because these things are not important on your CV. You only add these things when the company asks you, before you add them. When the company is requesting for your date of birth, then you add it to it. When they are requesting for your marital status, then you add it. If not, don't add it on your CV. Remember that you don't want to add things on your CV that can affect you getting the job, because you can go and put your age and the person will see it and say, this person is too young for this job, and you will lose that opportunity. However, if they had just called you for the interview, you would have aced that interview and then you would do so well in it. So let's not put, unless the company is asking for it, before we put it there. You realize that there's no picture on this CV, because your picture on your CV too is not necessary unless the company asks for it. Don't put your picture on your CV. Don't say, oh, I have a nice nose. Somebody will see it and say, this person doesn't have a nice nose, so because of that, I won't give this person this opportunity. So make sure on your CV you only put relevant things on your CV. Don't put your GPS address unless you are inviting thieves into your house. Then you can afford to put your GPS. However, you can put your LinkedIn account. If you have a professional LinkedIn account, you can put it over there. You can put your LinkedIn account, because some companies will go there and check. And that brings me to our social media, the type of things we put on our social media. Nowadays, before companies will recruit you, they will type in your name on social media. And what is social media saying about you? If you are the type, you are just there liking all sorts of things. You have very strong opinions about things on social media that can affect you getting a job. Some of you, the last time there was a debate on what's it called, PhD over Dutch passport, and a lot of students were saying they'll pick the Dutch passport over PhD. They leave this country, they won't come back again, forgetting that now embassies like American embassy, the UK, Canadian embassy, now they check your social media accounts before they give you the visa. So if you're going to make strong opinions like this on social media, you will lose that opportunity. Some people too have lost opportunities because of the type of comments and the type of things they put on their social media. So let's be careful about such. Sorry about that. So let's be careful about the type of things we put on our social media. Now, when we finish this session, I would like to say everybody should go and enter their name in Google and see what Google says about you. If the things Google is saying about you is wrong, find a way to correct it. Because now I've had the opportunity to interview people for certain companies, and after picking people, they say, let's put their names on Google, let's put their names online and see what online is saying about them. And truthfully, some people have lost opportunities because online is not saying good things about them. So let's be mindful about such things. Like, let's take note about such things. So let's be careful about the things we put on social media. It's very, very important. It can sometimes break us. Sometimes you didn't put it there, but someone put it there, you went to like it. That can also affect you. Okay, so that's for the first section of the CV. Then we go to the next one, your career objective. For a CV for a job, career objective can be there. If it's for a scholarship, you can say personal objective or personal proof, something. But for a job, usually, ideally, you can put career objective over there. And then for your career objective, you tailor it to fit the position organization you're applying for. This is not where you go and put, I am a beautiful, handsome, intelligent, respectful individual. The company know you're lying. This is not where you go and put those things. Go straight to the point. So to work as an accountant in a multinational company, full stop. Or to work or to do my internship in an organization with the aim of becoming a blah blah blah, full stop. One sentence is enough. This is not where you go and be writing so many things on your CV. On your CV. So let's be mindful about such things on our CV. So our career objective, one page, one sentence is enough. Just one sentence is enough for our career objective. This is not where you write too many things there. Those too many things, you can put them in your cover letter. Or there are other sections on your CV where these things can come. But for now, career objectives, one sentence, tailored towards the position and organization you're applying for is enough. The next thing you write on your CV is your education. Some people tend to hide their education somewhere else, but for fresh graduates, for students, if they want to, they employ you because of your education. So it has to be visible. Your education should be visible on your CV. Fresh graduates or students, your education should be visible. So for your education, the most current ones will, and actually on your CV, the most current ones always come first on your CV. So you're a University of Ghana student. Anybody employing you is employing you because you're a University of Ghana student. So if you have a master's degree, your master's degree can come first. Then after that, your degree, your undergraduate degree can also come. So with that one, you write the name of the institution, University of Ghana, the course in which you are reading. So let's say BA Philosophy and Classics with Archaeology. If you put with there, maybe it's because you are majoring philosophy. If you put end there, it's because you are combining. So let's be mindful about such things. Then you put the date there. When did you start school? 2025 to date, because you haven't yet finished school. Don't put 2025 expected date 2028. No. 2025 to date, because you haven't finished school. If you finish school, yes, then you can put 2025 or 2024 to 2026 or 2025. Because that one you have finished school. But if you haven't finished school, don't put expected date. And on your education, anybody employing you now that you're a university student, it's because of your university degree, not your primary school, not your JHS, not your secondary school, not your nursery school. So those ones are not necessary on your CV unless the company is requesting for it. Unless the position you're applying for is a position that maybe a secondary school person can also go for. That is why you're putting that there. But if not, don't put your secondary school, primary school, because sometimes these ones can also go against you. And also remember, your CV is just a 1 page, at most 2 pages CV. So if you end up putting all these things on it, it will affect you. You will get more pages. However, if you've done any professional course, maybe you took a course on ALX, or you took a course on Coursera, or you took a course on Ghana Stock Exchange, ACC, ACCA, or any of those courses, those ones you can put them on your CV. So you can put other certificates, then you also state those ones over there. The recognized professional courses, yes, you can put it there. Coursera is a course that is a platform that a lot of people know, especially the multinational companies. They know about Coursera, they know about ALX, they know about EDX. So if you've done a course there, it can be a plus for you. So those ones, you can put them over there. Then the next thing on your CV is your work experience. The next thing is your work experience. So for your work experience, you put the position you've held before. So even if it was an internship, you can put intern as the position, the name of the company, and the date in which you worked there. So maybe you say January to October 2024. But remember, I said on your CV, the most current ones always come first. Then after that, you come down and bullet what you did over there. This is where you use syllable words, action words. You don't go and put I did this, no, those ones won't get you the job. You don't put personal pronouns on your CV. So use connected, managed, assisted. Those ones are words that will get the CV. Maybe you were able to raise a company's collection point from 2% to 70%. Those are things that they want to see on your CV. And so you bullet those ones on your CV. So your work experience. Some people say, oh, but I've never done any job before. But then their mother has a bakery and every vacation they go and sit at the bakery. That is a work experience you can put on your CV. So you put, what were you doing there? Baking assistant. What job were you put it there? The name of your mother's company, put it there. The date in which you worked there, put it there. Maybe you were also even during the vacation when you finished WASI, you went to teach in a secondary school, a primary school, or something like that. It is a work experience you can put there. Most often people have work experiences, but they think that it is not something they can put on their CV. There's a way you can put it. You can come to the Careers and Counseling Directorate later on, and we can elaborate and talk more about that. So that's for the work experience. If you've done any volunteering opportunity, it's also a work experience you can put there. So the position over there, you put volunteering or volunteer over there, and you bullet what you did over there. And you realize that most of these multinational companies, those of you who want to work with the UN and things like that, they check whether you volunteered somewhere before. So it's actually good to volunteer. So if you know somebody who is in the house who doesn't have a job and is looking for a job, that's something you can tell the person to do. Have you thought about volunteering in the community? Maybe you say you don't have money to pay cars somewhere else, but in the community in which you stay in, is there a basic school there you can just go and volunteer and teach them maths, or teach them English, or teach them something without even paying? They don't have to pay you. Through that, you might get an opportunity. People have gotten opportunity because they volunteered their service for free. So it's good to volunteer. After that, the next one we go to is the extracurricular activity. So the extracurricular activity has to do with positions you've held before, relevant seminars you've attended, and if you're a member of any organization. So let's say you are the president of the Philosophy Students Association. That's something you can put. Then you put president, Philosophy Students Association, University of Ghana, 2022 to date, because you haven't finished, or 2022 to 2020 to 2023 or something. You can put that there. And some companies actually will even look at the extracurricular activity. They want to know that apart from being studying, what were some of the things you did? Were you part of the debating club? Were you part of the sports people, swimming people? What did you do whilst you were in school? So some companies might even not look at everything, but just look at the extracurricular activity. You say you're a first class student, but apart from the first class student or first class you have, what other things do you have? So they'll look at that. positions you've held. And then that one, you don't need to come there and bullet that as a president, I did so and so. No. Those ones, if they want to know, they'll ask you at the interview. Relevant seminar. If you're a member of any organization, so member of the Philosophy Students Association, University of Ghana, this is something you can put there. Then we have the next one we go to is your personal traits. This has to do with things that have to do with your personality, things that you don't necessarily have to learn to acquire. So these are things you put on your personal traits. So you can actually Google and say, what are personal traits required for an accountant? And look at it. If you see any of them that fits you, you put on your CV. But if none of them fits you, please don't put it on your CV. Don't go and put that I am thorough and neat when your CV has a lot of mistakes, so it doesn't show that you are thorough and neat. So don't ever lie on your CV, because now companies have even come to realize that a lot of people have been lying on their CVs. So now they've come up with very interesting ways interviews have been conducted nowadays, because so many people have started lying on their CV. So let's be mindful and careful about the things we put on our CV. So personal traits are things that we don't necessarily have to learn to acquire. They have to do with us. But then you tailor it towards the position you are applying for. Tailor it towards the position you are applying for. Then the next one is your skills and ability. These are things that you don't need to learn to. These are things that you actually need to learn to acquire. And I'll say that as a University of Ghana student, everybody should put good communication skills on their CV. You can't come to University of Ghana and your communication skills is bad. Learn it and put it on your CV. You should also be computer literate. You also can't come to University of Ghana and you're not computer literate. UGCS does free computer courses or computer things for students. Take advantage of it, learn it so that you can also put it on your CV. You can't come to University of Ghana and not be computer literate, because even University of Ghana, most of the things we do has to do with your computer. The Sakai and the submitting assignments online and things, you do all that. So you can't say you're not computer literate. Learn them. We do PowerPoint presentations and things like that. This is what companies are looking out for. Go and learn how to do a PowerPoint presentation. Because sometimes even the interview you go for, they'll tell you to do a PowerPoint presentation. And if you are not able to do it, it can go against you. Also, if you know how to use certain softwares, maybe based on your course, there are certain softwares that are required for you. You can put them on your CV. And then sometimes you can even learn them to build your CV. Because now every university is graduating thousands of students every year. So what makes you stand out is based on the extra things you have learned. So go to Coursera, go to ALX, go to these ones, EDX. They are teaching you things over there that you can actually learn and put on your CV, skills that you can put on your CV. Learn some of these skills to put on your CV. If you speak any foreign language like French, Swahili, Chinese and things, you can put them on your CV. But please, if it's intermediate Chinese, put intermediate Chinese. If it's don't say that you speak perfect Chinese, perfect French, and the only thing you can say is comment ça va. Apart from comment ça va, you don't know anything else. Please don't put something on your CV you can't do. I have attended an interview. We've done mock interviews for people, and someone said she spoke fluent French. And usually mock interviews will bring outsiders to sit on the panel. The person said, oh, you speak French, so your interview will be done in French. Can you imagine if this person was lying and she couldn't speak French? That is how she'll be eliminated from the position. So let's be mindful and careful about that. So that's for the skills and abilities. Then the next one is your interest. The interest is the same as the hobbies. Your interest is the same as the hobbies. But I always say your hobbies should even be tailored towards the position you're applying for. So what are the hobbies? Let me give an example. Somebody wants to become a journalist, and the person says that I like listening to current issues. Journalism and current issues, they go hand in hand. So that's the person's interest. It is tailored towards the position the person is applying for. So the person can put that there. Some companies too are looking for people who know how to do some sports. So if you play tennis, you play football, you know how to swim. Even swimming, some companies require that you should know how to swim. Last year, we had African World coming to UG to recruit people for national service, and the requirement was that you should know how to swim because they were recruiting for cabin crew members. And the requirement was that you should know how to swim. So swimming is an advantage for people. So learn how to swim is good. If you want to work in an oil and gas company, some of the requirements is that you should know how to swim. So let's learn how to swim. It's very important, and you can put it on your CV if you play in a sport. Now some companies they are recruiting people based on whether they play football or not, so that they can come and play for the company team and things like that. So these are some of the things you can put on your CV. If you know how to play any mind challenging game like Sudoku, chess, Monopoly, these are mind challenging games you can also put on your CV. Please, Candy Crush and things, they are not mind challenging games for you to put on your CV. I didn't say Candy Crush. Put mind challenging games on your CV if you know them. Put interest, but don't just say reading. Reading what? Reading novels, reading news.
Installation, persistence, renewable energy, automation and control to reliable data
Can
center
we
and
mute?
money services, power infrastructure, network connectivity, server virtualization, cloud
Jerry, please mute. Okay, thank you. So if you know how to play some of these mind challenging games, you can put them on your CV, but you can also get some that's tailored towards the position you are applying for. Then we have the references. References, it depends on the company you are applying for. If you apply to a multinational company, they don't really require you to put your references there. They actually don't want you to put it there. Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and all those places. If you are writing to them, they don't want you to put your references there. Just leave it and don't even put available upon request. Just leave it. I think last 2 weeks, we had Bank of America coming to UG, the president of Bank of America coming to UG to interact with students on the opportunities and how students can apply to do internship with Bank of America. And I think Hyundai, the actual one of the third generational CEO, came with Bank of America to actually talk to students and also scout to see whether they could get opportunities for people to do internship with Hyundai and all that. So we have a lot of opportunities like this are coming to campus. Take advantage of it. Look for them. Some of us, we don't want to, we finish school and we say there are no jobs. But the same people are finishing University of Ghana and they are getting jobs. How are they getting jobs? Don't tell me it's because they know somebody. Some of the people that get the job, they don't know anybody. Bank of America gives a fair ground to everybody. Google comes to UG almost every year. They give a fair ground to people. Bloomberg also comes. Now we are getting Hyundai to even come to UG to recruit people. Take advantage of it. And most of these things, we put it through your student emails. This particular Bank of America and Hyundai, unfortunately, I didn't put it through your emails because they were just looking for just a few people. But I will still post it when they open the room for recruitment. I will send it out, and I think I have already even done that. I sent it out earlier on for people who are interested in working with Bank of America. Take advantage of such opportunities when they come to you. So these companies, they don't want you to put your references there. However, with the local Ghanaian companies, they want you to put your references there. So when they want you to put your references there, you put the name of the person you are using as your referee, the position in which the person holds, the company in which the person works, and the person's email address and telephone number. These are the things you put over there. Please don't put your family member, especially if your family member has the same name as you. Don't put that person as your referee. Don't say that, oh, but I work with my father. In your father's company, there are other people there you can use as your referee. So don't put your family members there. Don't also put your religious leaders unless you are working with them on a professional level. Then you can put them as your referee. And before you use anybody as the please inform them. Some of you use people as referees and you don't inform them. As, and now I have in my mail, I have so many people who have sent me to write references for them. They didn't inform me, but I don't even remember them, so I don't know what to write there. So it's always good to inform people before you use them as a referee. And ideally, your lecturers, if you are still students, your lecturers can be your referees. That's why you should be nice to your lecturers, so that when you ask them to write a reference letter for you, they will write it for you. People you have worked with before, they are also good people to write, good people that can write your references for you. So people you worked with before, your lecturers and all that. So basically this is how your CV should look like. Ideally, a one-page CV is good. But if you don't get a one-page CV, you can go 2 pages, but don't go beyond 2 pages. Don't go beyond 2 pages on your CV. If you are printing out your CV and you have 2 pages, make sure at the footer you number your pages and then you put your initials with your telephone number at the footer. That is if you are printing it out. But some companies nowadays will say that send your CV via email or send your CV via this software and things. That one, make sure you always change it to a PDF before you send it, so that Word documents sometimes things can shift. So make sure you put it in a PDF before you send it out to any company. Make sure that you change it. And now they even tell you to send it through the emails and things, because now there are softwares are being designed. So these softwares that are being designed, if you pass your CV through it and there are spelling mistakes, the software will identify it and drop your CV. If you pass it through the software and your CV is not tailored towards what the company or the organization is looking for, they will drop your CV automatically. That is why it's good to let somebody you trust look at your CV for you. That is why we say bring it to the Careers and Counseling Directorate, so that we can see it for you and make these corrections for you. So basically this is what the CV should look like. I think I left out something at the education. So for the education, some people will say, can I put my GPS address there? Sorry, what's it called? My CG, your grade. What's it? Oh, why is it escaping me? Your I think you get what
Is it
I'm
your class?
saying.
Second
Your
class.
class,
GPA.
yes.
GPA.
Yes, some people say, can I put that there? Yes, you can put it there if you have a good class. If you have a good class, you can put it there. But some companies will actually ask you for your class. So those ones, you put them there. I think Bank of America and some of these ones, they want to see what class you belong to. So you can put them there. But if your GPA is hanging, is jumping, is this thing, you are not seeing top, some and things, those ones, if the company is not asking for it, ideally don't put it there. You can decide not to put them there on your CV. So let me stop here and open the room for questions. So for the questions, we are going to be civil about it. If you have any question, you use the emoji sign or the sign up there, you raise up your hand, and then you'll be called to ask your question. As much as possible, because of the timing, let's make our questions very brief so that a lot of people can also ask questions. I think somebody asked me, you can also put your question in the chat box and we'll read it out for you if there's time. I think someone sent about LinkedIn. Can we take you through LinkedIn? Maybe that can be another class for another day. You could get a professional who is good at LinkedIn to take you through that another day. So I'll open it up. I'll start with Ida. Ida, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, good evening. My first question is, I didn't join early, so I heard you saying about Sarah and other. You mentioned at least 3 names, and I did not hear that well. So I wanted you to say that again. And you said something also about when we should number our page, and when we get to the footer, we should do something, which I did not hear that one too very well. And also with the CV checking that you said we can bring it to the career directorate to check. Can we bring it for me? I'm in level 200 now. Can we bring it now? Maybe after I've drafted it down, or maybe when I get to my final here, or maybe after I'm applying for jobs, then I bring it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Ida. So for your first question, I was talking about platforms that are recognized nowadays that people take courses on. So that's the Coursera, the EDX, ALX. There are lots of these platforms. So that's what I was talking about. Also, your second question, I was saying for the footer, you number your pages if you are printing out your CV. That's when you number your pages. And then you put your initials and your telephone number at your footer. Ida, can you mute yourself? Okay, so at your footer, that's what you do over there. And the careers and counseling that is open to everybody. It's open to every level. So you can draft and bring it whether you're in level 200, 300, 400, and even if you're in level 100, you can start drafting your CV and bring it to us. So you can bring it to our main office. The main office is behind the sociology department around Commonwealth Hall. You can use Google location to also locate us over there. So that's Ida. So yes, Eugene, can you also unmute yourself and ask your question?
Thank you very much. And please, about the name and the page number in the footer. When you're submitting online, do you still have to include the page number in your details there?
Okay, so when you are submitting online, you don't necessarily have to put it there. The reason why we are putting it there when we print out is because, especially when you have two pages and you staple it, sometimes the staple pin can remove, and then it will be difficult to find which one goes with that. That is why we put that at the footer. That's why we put our initial and the number page at the footer. But when you are submitting it online, you don't necessarily have to put that there, because that one you can actually use, you can do it on PDF so that it makes it easy. Okay, so Priscilla,
Yes, please.
Priscilla,
Thank you.
thank you, Eugene. Priscilla,
Thank you.
yes.
I wanted to ask, with the extracurricular activities, you said you can include if you are a member of any organization. What if you are in maybe TAIN or TESCON? Will it be tagged as partisan, or it's okay to include it?
Okay, so those ones, you need to be very careful when you put such things there. If it is a political position you're applying for, yes, you can put it there. But if it is not a political position, I won't advise you to put it there because it can go against you. Maybe you belong to, I don't know the difference between TAIN and the other one. You said something, but I don't know which one is which. But then what if the person belongs to the other party and you submitted it like that? Sometimes it can go against you. And as much as possible on your CV, let's not put things like that that can go against us. And sometimes even when it comes to our religious beliefs and things like that, especially for the multinational companies, they like to tone down too much on that. So you don't put too much of such things on your CV. We said don't put things that will go against you on your CV. Don't just put
Thank
things
you.
that will go against you on your CV. Okay, so
Thank you.
Shadrach.
Thank you for the opportunity. Your delivery, you talk about personal contacts. And I want to find out, aside your personal contact, can you include an emergency number? 2.
No,
Then
I don't think. I think you can put two contacts there, but don't say this is an emergency contact. No, just put two contacts, and those contacts should be your contacts. Yeah.
And this is working with private institutions in Ghana. Some of these private institutions, the way they claim people, is not right home accounts.
Sorry, I can't hear what you are saying. You said a private institution, that's what?
Yes, the way they lay off people, it's nothing to like the medium or the way, the manner in which they lay people off. You cannot say that maybe they lay you off in a bad way, where you cannot even go back there for any reference or whatever. Can you also include that in your CV? Maybe one day you went to job and then they just fired you like that.
I don't think I mean, when you are putting somebody as your referee, put somebody who can actually say good things about you. So if
No,
you
I
go
mean
and
the
put somebody
I mean
who sacked you on your CV, the person will definitely not give you a good reference. So maybe you can look for another person in that organization who can give you a good reference. Then you can ask the person to put it there. But if the person is not going to give you a good reference, don't go and put the person there because it will affect you. It will affect
okay,
you.
I mean the institution too. Let's say you work in a private school where one day they just came and then they lay you off without giving any reason. You know that you have not also offended, gone against their rules and regulations. But the way they lay you off is not the right way. Can you also include that as a working experience?
I think you can put that as a working experience over there, but you don't put that they just laid you off and things like that on your CV. But if you think that is going to go against you, then you can omit it from your CV. Because what if you think that they are going to call the company and then the company will give a bad review about you, then don't put it there. Then
Thank you.
don't put
And
it
then
there. Yeah.
okay, my last question will be on your recommendation in terms of the CGPA. You made an open statement. Can you recommend that if you get from this to this, maybe you can include it there?
No, I can't make an because it depends on every company. Every company and what they want there. So I can't recommend on that. Yes. I think because of timing, let's all ask like one question so that everybody has the opportunity to ask question. Okay. Yes. So Abubakari. Yes, Abubakari, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, my question was, you see, you previously said that you don't have to add any religious belief. It may go against you or something. You see, sometimes you can be applying for a company that it's a Muslim company or something like that. So if you didn't stay there, and maybe they are only looking for Muslims or something. So when you do not state that you are a Muslim or you are a Christian in that, and then you go into the company, and you assume to be practicing whatever they are doing there. How are you going to go about that one too? And maybe
Okay. So that's what I mentioned and said that you need to research about the company. First of all, know the company you're applying to. If the company requires such things, yes, you can put it there. If it is a Muslim
hold on.
company and you're Muslim and that is what they are looking out for, yes, you can put it there.
Okay,
But if
hold
it's
on.
going to go
Why I'm saying
against you, pardon?
I have experience. That's why I'm saying this. I was doing internship at one particular pension company. So initially, when I sent them my internship letter for their review and all that, and then they called me to come for interview and all that. So when I went, they were asking me, say, am I a Muslim or I'm a Christian? Okay, I confidently told them that I'm a Muslim, but then they were asking me, say, like, will I accept to change religious beliefs when I get into the organization or something? And I said, well, when I'm working, if you're going to work in an organization, it doesn't really mean that you are going to change religion or something. It's about if it's about prayers, I would join to do so. But for me to change and be practicing Christianity, it seems like you're telling me I don't know my rights or something. So the question me say, what if they are only picking Christians to do the to do the intensive? I say okay, that is fine. Then I will go, because me I don't take religion when I'm going into work with a company or something.
Okay, so not to cut you, but that clearly just shows that okay, that's not a company that you will want to work with. So if that has been made, then you just know that that is not a company for you, and then you don't go there. At least the interview brought it out that clearly that's not a place you should work with. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ida. Yes, thank you, Abu. Kari. Ida, you've already asked the question. You're back.
I have one. with a reference letter. Let's say I go for internship. Can I ask for a reference letter from the principal of the school or the organization, then use it later, maybe a long time, or
I mean, if they want to give you, yes, you can ask for it, but sometimes you can just wait till you need the opportunity because some companies nowadays they don't want a physical letter. They more or less want an email or something and they will send it to the person directly. But yes, you can ask the person, but it's not like you should be demanding for it that it's your right to get it. But then you can ask if they want to write a reference letter for you. They can write it for you. Yeah. Okay, so Stephen, oh no, sorry, before Stephen, we
Okay.
have Louis. Sorry, before Stephen, we have Louis. Sorry. Louis, Sarkodia, you can ask your question.
Thank you for this opportunity. Please, my question is about the working no, about the working experience. Like when you are volunteering in an organization, where do you write it at? Which part of your CV do you write it at? And I also want to know what if you have certificates in certificates for your position or something you've held. How do you also document those things? Do you print them and attach them at the back of the CV, or you write it at certain parts of the CV? Thank you.
Okay, so for your the volunteering, it can come under the work experience. So I mentioned it that volunteer is a work experience. So you can put it there. But some volunteers, they are not actually work, but then you can those ones can go under your extracurricular activities. So you can look at it and wait which one. Sometimes it's just maybe one day you went to assist with some cleanup exercise or something. You went to volunteer with that one can go under your extracurricular activities. So the extracurricular activities that come with your certificates and things like that, you can add them when they call you for an interview. Because remember, the CV will open doors for an interview. So when they call you for an interview, then you can attach, you can print out your or take out your certificates and everything and show them the certificate. So you don't need to send it to them now. You don't need to
Okay.
show it to them now. Okay, so we'll go to the next person.
My second question was not answered.
Hey, what was the second question again?
I was talking about the certificates. Maybe if you have certificates for positions or other portfolios
Yeah,
or
that was
something,
the one I
where
was
do you
mentioning
print?
that. That's what I was mentioning that you can take it when you are going for the interview. So for your CV, you can just add maybe your education certificates and things. But the other certificates, when it comes to positions and things you've held for, when you are called for the interview, you can carry them along.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. So next one, Abdul Karim. Abdul, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Uh, Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. I want to find out the reference. Must the person be a person who held a position like a manager, director, headmaster, or anybody within an organization can be a reference to?
Yes, anybody within the organization can be your reference, but you have to be also tactical about it. You have to be careful about it. Don't go and give it to somebody that doesn't hold any weight to write your reference for you. They might not take it too serious. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the supervisor or your manager or something, but it should be somebody who holds some weight in the organization. Yeah.
Thank you.
Stephen, you can unmute yourself. Stephen, you can unmute yourself now.
Okay. So I want to ask, um, with the is there a kind of template that you should follow, or you can just improvise so far as it works.
Okay, so what are the templates I gave you? What I used is a template ideally I like students to use, or graduates or fresh graduates to use. So what we are going to do is that I can't upload the template here. However, I will say if you are in philosophy students, I can send it to Deborah. I can send it to her and she can share it to all the philosophy students who attended this program. She can share it with you. However, Jerry will also put the careers and counseling WhatsApp page in our chat box. You can follow the WhatsApp page on the chat box, and then we will put there the sample CV over there. Ideally, I like people to use this because when you go online, you will see all sorts of CVs over there, and most of the time, some of these ones are not good. They can rather affect you. So ideally, I would say that either follow, or let me not say either, everybody should follow the careers and counseling WhatsApp channel, because that is where we put a lot of opportunities also. And then I'll also send it to the philosophy class association so that those over there too can get it. But philosophy and classes students, join the careers and counseling WhatsApp page. I think nobody has also asked this question, but I will say it. Those of you who have been using AI to write your CVs for you, you have to be careful, because the company will find out that this is an AI written CV and it can go against you. You can get AI to review it after you have written it properly. Then you put it in it, and the AI will check the mistakes, spelling mistakes and grammar and things for you. Yes. But don't just go and put it that AI should write CV for you. That one, the companies will catch you that you use AI to write it. And because sometimes some of the things they will put there, they don't even apply to the Ghanaian system. Someone go and say cum laude. Cum laude doesn't apply in Ghana. Cum laude, unless you are going to Harvard and things, then you can talk about that. But then you go and put such things on your CV and then they will catch you. So please, let's not do that. It's 6 o'clock, so I'm going to take the last 2 questions and then we'll end it. So Ibrahim, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Ibrahim, and because of time, let's do it fast.
Yeah. Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Please, because of network, I joined it late. I just want you to go to the main highlight again, especially the educational background. And then if you can also put it on the psychology platform. Some of us are not doing philosophy. We are doing psychology and information studies. So maybe
Okay.
Unigap platform, or yeah.
Okay, Ibrahim, let me not cut you, but unfortunately, I can't go through it because of the timing. However, I said this is being recorded to be put on the Careers and Counseling YouTube channel. You can go and watch it over there. And I keep on mentioning philosophy and classics too, because they wanted me to do this for them, and I told them to join the monthly CV classes that we do from the Careers and Counseling. However, join our WhatsApp channel. If you join the WhatsApp channel, it will definitely be there. If you join the WhatsApp channel, it will definitely be there. So let me just take the last question from Ernesto. Yes. Ernesto, I'll take the last question from you, and then I'll try and read some of the questions online. And then we'll
Okay,
end
madam,
it
please, can
there.
you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Please, I heard you talk about Google coming to campus for those opportunities. Yes, please. I want to know if those opportunities are still, or when
This
next are
year
they
they haven't
coming
yet
into the
come.
university?
Okay, so this year they
Okay.
haven't yet come, but when they come, usually I will send it to your students' emails. That's why I send it to. And then the WhatsApp channel I'm talking about that Jerry has put on the page, that is also where usually I'll put it there. So look out for it. But Bank of America, I posted it earlier on through SEO. So those of you who saw it, yes, through SEO, Bank of America came. And then so usually with these ones, I usually send it to your emails. So you see that every day Careers and Counseling Directorate is sending opportunities, emails and things. Some of you don't ignore it, but most of the time these are opportunities I'm putting out there. for you.
Okay. Okay, please, do you have a Telegram channel?
No, we don't.
You don't
No,
have
we don't have a
Telegram.
Telegram. So we have a WhatsApp channel. So you can join the
Most of
WhatsApp.
us, we don't use WhatsApp, so
Oh, sorry about that.
okay.
Okay. So the recorded version will be put on our YouTube channel, so you can go there to check.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you can add your national service too on your CV. I'm just trying quickly to go through the comment section. Yes, so every time you're applying for a job, tailor your CV to apply for that particular opportunity. Don't just make a generic CV and send it around. There's a high chance you will not be selected for it. Tailor your CV to fit that. So when you're applying for a CV for school and things, it's similar to this. There are only some few changes and things you have to make on it. Okay, so I mean the questions are a lot. The questions are a lot, and then it's 6 o'clock. I like to try and stick to time for everybody. So what our advice is that everyone should come to the Careers and Counseling Directorate. At least use the template to do your CV. Bring it to the Careers and Counseling Directorate. Ask of me. My name is Edwina, and I will help you. If I'm around, I will help you look through your CV and work it out. If I'm not around, you can just ask anybody at the reception and the person will let you know when I'm around. And then you can come see me and then I will look at your CV. But don't just come with a blank something. Come with something that we can actually look out for and work on it. I said earlier on, join our WhatsApp channel because that is where we put a lot of information, and be checking your emails because that's some of the very important messages. I send it to your emails. So be checking through your emails because that's where we put opportunity. Also to say that next week, Careers and Counseling Directorate is doing an educational fair at ISE next week, Wednesday. There's going to be an educational fair at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock or 8:30. There's going to be an educational fair where we are bringing embassies, we are bringing educational companies and things. So those of you who want to do want to do your master's or your PhD in a foreign company, you can pass by and we have the educational fair. So with the educational fair to the day before, we have a webinar. So we have somebody from the US who is going to also talk about opportunities, how you can apply to do your master's or PhD in US or any foreign company. That will be on the 4th of August. That's the Tuesday. 4th of August from 3:30 to 5 o'clock p.m. That one is going to be online. So if you join our WhatsApp channel, Jerry will share with you the link to join that. And then on 5th of August, we have the face-to-face one, which is going to be held at ISE conference. ISE conference is beside engineering school. So it's beside engineering. Tell your friend, tell people about it. It's open to everybody. It's not only open to University of Ghana students. So if you know somebody who is outside University of Ghana who is interested, you can tell the person to come by and all that. So this is CV writing class. We do this every last Friday of the month. Every last Friday of the month at 5 o'clock. We use the same link. So if you have any friend or those who joined in very late who couldn't attend, it's not too late. Next month, 5 o'clock, last Friday of the month, we will do another CV class and then you can attend it. So thank you. And again, my name is Edwina Pinto. I work with the University of Ghana Careers and Counseling Directorate as a placement coordinator and then also a counselor. Thank you. Yes, philosophy and classics. Would the president or someone want to just address it or we just end it here?
Can we add anything in our CV?
WhatsApp channel. The WhatsApp channel.
The WhatsApp channel. Check the chat. Jerry has put it on the chat. So check it there. And if you came in very, very late, this is also put on our YouTube channel. So you can go and watch it on our YouTube channel. You'll get a lot of information on the YouTube channel over there. And if you have more questions, because of time, I can't get people to ask their questions. But if you have questions, I said I'm at the Careers and Counseling Directorate. Come and see me or pass by and we can talk. Okay, have a good night and see you all later. Bye. Jerry, have you put the link on the page?
Yes,
The
please
link to
have.
the WhatsApp. Okay, so the link is on the WhatsApp channel. Sorry, on the chat. You can join the WhatsApp channel and then you get all the information you need to get over there. Thank you and see you later.
Thank you, Miss Edwina.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.